I've had two executive coaches throughout my career. The first one was with Levi's. Her name is Anna. She's one of my Facebook friends today.
Hi,
And
Anna.
Anna was given to me as a coach when I was going through a leadership program with Levi's, where they put their top, I want to say 20 leaders that they felt had potential in the company. This is back when I lived in San Francisco with them, kind of through an express leadership program, including, you've seen these kind of rotational programs to see if you could be a country manager or take on a really large part of the function. And so it was called their LEAD program, and I was part of the LEAD program, and with that, you get a coach. And so Anna was my coach, and we did a lot of things, but really more than anything, she helped me. I remember one thing she had me do was kind of write down a timeline of my life with key milestones, highs and lows.
Sure.
And throughout my lifetime, and you see this kind of, you reflect on this journey that you've been through, and what are the pivotal points in your life, highs and lows, that have changed you as a person, and how have they changed you?
Yeah, I'm going home and doing that, by the way.
It's awesome. It was really awesome. I mean, because for me, it was when my parents got divorced when I was in the third grade. How did that change me? I've now gone through a divorce. How did that change me? The birth of my children, like all these things. It's just really great.
Yeah.
But then the other thing she really taught me to do was to think about what I like and what I don't like in roles, what I shy away from and I'm afraid of.
Okay.
And what I just won't go near as a person. Like, what are the things that I just have zero interest in? So for me, it's finance. Like,
oh my gosh,
no
same.
way.
And I find myself in these roles that are focused on, and I'm like, how does this happen to me? If I see another spreadsheet, I actually like data, but something about the finance,
like so to
funny.
be a CFO, absolutely never.
No,
no
never,
way.
no.
So I can read a P&L,
right.
run a budget and all that. But, so anyway, but then she had me start thinking forward, like of the end of your life, whenever you think that might be.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Until today. So you kind of work from the both ends to the middle.
Yeah.
So at the very end of your life, and again, it sounds cliche because people will say, what do you want to be remembered by, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, you start to think about legacy.
Yeah, but a little bit more literally, how do you want to be remembered?
Yeah.
And how, at the time that you have grandkids, what kind of or do you want to be a grandparent? What kind of grandparent do you want to be?
Yeah.
What kind of neighbor do you want to be? What kind of retiree do you want to be? And you kind of work your way back to center. And as she and I did that, and she later told me this happens on occasion, it became obvious to me I needed to leave the company.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So here's a coach that Levi's has paid for me to have and spent all this time with, only for me to realize, I was trying to kind of quiet this energy that I had inside of me to be just a career person, right? And just don't be so results focused. Don't be so pushy with your career. Can you just quiet yourself and be happy where you are and be comfortable? And I kept trying to kind of squash that.
It doesn't work.
No, and I was also at the same time, because I was feeling this guilt. About, wow, here I am in Chicago. I'm in a great job. This is a great company.
They made a role for me here.
They did all this stuff. They did everything that I asked for. And I wouldn't say I'm unhappy. That would be extreme, but I was not satisfied with my life. And so, anyway, ultimately it kind of brought me to the point where it became obvious to me that I needed to leave the company, that I needed to find a company where I could be in their home office and continue to progress my career at a pace that I wanted and that I could handle. And that certainly worked with my personal life.
Sure.
But that I needed to leave this company that I absolutely loved and a job that I was perfectly happy with.
Yeah, interesting. And so did you have sights on CEO or C-suite? I mean, sometimes I'm hesitant to verbalize those things, but then I'm kidding myself if that's not really what I.
It's funny. And I think I can say this with all honesty. I have been someone that's always thought about what's the kind of job I want, less than like what's the name of the title I want. So even today, CEO doesn't appeal to me. I mean, doesn't mean that I wouldn't be a CEO, but what I really want is I want to lead a team of people that I can build and that I have trust and respect for and has trust and respect for me and do great things. I want to be successful with them. And I don't know. So I didn't necessarily say I wanted to be CEO of a company at a certain age or be a VP at a certain age.
Sure.
I've always been kind of patient with that part of it. And it's probably not great advice, but I've always kind of assumed that with the hard work it would come.
Yeah.
And in my case, it did.
Yeah.
So I never went in asking for a title, but I did go in asking for the experience.
Okay.
You know,
I like that. Yeah. And I think that is, not to feel like I'm beating up on women here, but they have a difficult time asking for what they want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I do think sometimes people will pigeonhole, and I give this guidance to my team all the time. They will pigeonhole themselves into thinking, I want that job. And well, you know what? That job might not exist next year, or it happened to me multiple times. They may be there may be a vacancy in the organization where they need to create a job that they don't even recognize, quite frankly. So if you can frame up what you want in terms of what it looks like or what aspects of it you like, and quite frankly, what you're not so great at and what you need. So in my case, when my then boss, Christian, took me to lunch and talked to me about this role, we had a conversation before that. It was because of Women's Unlimited. I was in the lead program. And I had, doing this interview with him, and he said, well, what do you want to do next? And I said, I want to lead the operations team. And he didn't even know I had operations experience. So we got into, and he's like, well, why? And so I talked about the aspects of leading, going back in operations and leading the team. I didn't ask for the VP of operations role. There was someone in that role.
Sure.
But I wanted to plant the seed that this is the kind of job that I want. And it was through that it kind of opened the conversation to later this role.
Okay.
So
I didn't realize. So you went through Women Unlimited while you were at Morton.
I did. I went through the New York program.
Oh, New York. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The few.
Oh, okay.
I call it lead, but it was the few.
Yeah, the few.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
I've heard about that one.
Yeah, I did. And that's the second coach, actually, that I've had. The executive coach is through the few.